here in this building. December 30th, boy, that was fun. It was fun to watch. Some more highlights here to come. Josh Tiven, Monte Morris initiating things on this first possession. And around the screen, there's some of that height in the three-point shots. They're two of the top three in the league coming into tonight. Bobby in his little comfort set against Chicago a couple games ago. And Grayson rips it away. They got numbers here for the Bucks. Have a 3-on-1, 4-on-1 opportunity. Javon Carter drains it.
In the fourth quarter of that game.
And Grayson has his pick on that transition. Yeah. 5 players, wow. A fun. That Jalen Williams, drafted this year by OKC, became the 3rd Razorback to play here in the league. Gafford, what a start.
For 3 straight games for the first time. Bucks will really need that tonight.
Porzingis takes it.
Kispert.
But this is significant, so Serge Ibaka checking in for the first time. He played like one. And in comes an Ibaka who, like I said, doesn't have a whole lot of game experience, really, in the last 20 games. And Pat Connaughton.
You saw Marjon Beauchamp challenge him, and just because I said he plays like he's about 6'6", 6'7", and moves that way, do not be deceived. He's all the way.
So December 30th was the first time he got to play as a Milwaukee Buck at 5'4".
I mean, just it's tough for anybody to be a factor against him defensively with his size.
Bobby, 1 tip, 2 tips. Portis has 8 of the first 14 points here for the Bucks. Marjon, too, a bigger guard at 6'6".
Yep.
Fade away from. Yeah, normally the Bucks can go small, they can go big. I mean, that's part of their strength, is they can change up the lineup, but short-handed, they don't have those.
To finish off and one possibilities.
And now with that foul, Serge Ibaka
making a case for himself. I mean, there was a team that got 4 All-Stars recently, and the four players in the All, get me wrong, but it's just been one of those years. So he's got to take his time and make sure that physical health is there and the mental that will come. Minute 50 to go in the first. Bucks stuck on 14, and that gives you an idea of the challenge facing this Milwaukee team tonight.
There we go. 8 of a couple of fouls, and let's put him back in here for the final 2 minutes or so. 2 of 9 shooting here for 3-point territory for the Bucks.
His perseverance.
It's a little bit of a sloppy start here in this first quarter for the Bucks. And touch to look at.
Yikes!
Get it off the screen. Last time that Wizards and the Bucks played is
to make him show that 11 for 17 second half against the Timberwolves was not an anomaly.
AJ Green getting bodied up by Hachimura. And then he just uses
he cut from that left break line to get himself open. As you mentioned, great acrobatic finish against Gafford, a tremendous shot blocker.
His career high against Phoenix, had 30 points Wednesday. His average in the 4 games. Grayson Allen for quarter. Mamu can't get that 3-pointer to drop. The longest actually win streak under Unseld Jr. is 5. He could maybe get here tonight. The games lost that you mentioned because of injury and illness, that's tied for the 4th most in the NBA, just to put perspective on it. Yeah, averaging a career high here this year. Yep. Never before had averaged more than 4.
This early part of the season, I mean, he's got 4 of the last 6 games, 40-plus points.
Use one of those 36-point games that he showed against OKC if he's got another one of those in his bag.
And Hachi back-to-back during that time.
They did. Good job. In Boston, too.
In Boston. I mean, so,
yeah, in a situation like this where it was like 2 games in 3 days.
I think that might have been a break for the Bucks on that play.
Real time. I think real time it looked more like a travel than our replay. Takes it inside. Wow, what an athletic and tough layup to make. Bucks get it right back. Pat, what you got? Let Pat dunk.
Possible. Look at Jordan Ward, look at Marjon, but hey, to each his own. It's a different era.
Marjon will take the trip.
The right cuts by Marjon Beauchamp.
Double figures now for Marjon. Kuzma taps in his own miss.
In this game, doing whatever works at the moment.
And to your point, Z, I mean, and you hear guys talk about it all the time, especially young players.
Oh, Grayson, Brooke, Marjan, and Pat. Bobby Portis just checked out. Kuzma challenging Brooke.
The major strength of Kyle Kuzma as a defensive stopper.
The only player who has 15 different starting lineup with the guys you see out there right now here for the Bucks. Trying to snake that screen, and Javon with the why not? So what's the mentality you got to have and starting out a second half like this for the Bucks? You know, your Zerg's available for the first 10,000 fans. You can get a court desk pad, and if you go to bucks.com/
Around for a minute.
Sheree Mitchell,
Yes.
well, she was called up to the NBA last January.
Okay, so Bobby kind of used to like to say if the shots are going to be made in a game like this via the Bucks, some solid defense, you got a chance to.
Great games with 20 and 10. Has a possibility of doing that tonight. So if you don't like looking at the scoreboard right now,
Javon pounces on the basketball, gets a piece of it.
does a good job kind of like staying underneath some of those players, right? Who's got it back? Similar at speed. Change of pace. Just lead it at 26. AJ Green loses it that time, you know. But their line is that AJ is such a professional. The way he approaches things, his mentality.
Aren't maybe going the way they should, but you know, Chris is kind of dealing with his own situation, trying to get back and be a contributor.
All 5 of his shots from three-point territory tonight. So the Wizards playing a little shorthanded as well tonight. Through 2 games in 3 days. Grayson from the court. I thought about pulling the trigger. The final 12 minutes here of the night. Bobby Portis from the corner.
I mean, right there shows just a summer of, or an off season of just tremendous work on his outside shooting.
Option here tonight. This Unseld Jr. Surge with the pump fake, takes it all the way.
Arc on his shot, kind of a frozen rope, as the great Chick Hearn used to talk about when describing Jerry West's jump shot.
Kuzma has 1 assist off of a triple-double. Slings it over to Hachimura, who takes a triple. And Serge has played 12 minutes and counting off the bench here tonight. Porzingis again.
That might be a first, huh?
Yeah, it might be.
Champion shot putter gets a triple-double in the NBA. Wow.
He's a Wizard. He's, as I mentioned, averaging career high points and assists this year.
I used to have discussions and arguments online with people about him and Brandon, the ability to put it on the floor and, you know, just good jump stops. And Ingram was more of a work in progress still at that time. Nice job.
Are bigger offensive players.
Well, yeah, I mean, at 6'1", naturally, most nights, Javon is going to be matched up against someone who is taller than him. And I've asked him about this.
Another one of those good players, young, 21 years old, athletic.
Thanasis with the pump fake, gets it taken away. I was reading up on the NBA's decision to do that.
You know, when you're, especially like in Orlando, there for like 3 days, and the weather's about 75, 80 degrees.
It really isn't there tonight.
No, and it's a Wizard team. Just keep it in context, as we've talked about all game long. 4-game win streak, and not just a hamstring injury, but those guys right there, Rui Hachimura, Kristaps Porzingis sitting next to